I'm Adam Sancic. I'd like to welcome you to today's Project Vision meeting. Happy to have you here. Appreciate your time and effort into collaborating with us today. I'm going to defer over to Kiana, the co-chair, and have her introduce herself.
Thank you everyone for being here, and good morning, good afternoon. What time is it? Awesome. Thank you guys all for being here today. My name is Kiana McClure. If you were not here at the last meeting last month, I am now co-chair here with Project Vision with Adam. I'm very grateful to be here. I currently hold a seat on the Rutland City Board of Aldermen, but today is not about me. Today is about all of the amazing work that you are all doing today. So I would like to start today's meeting with the introduction of first-time attendees. Could I get some first-time attendees to stand up, raise your hand, make yourself known? Awesome, we'll start from the front here and work our way back. So if you'd like to go first.
I'm going to wait for a microphone.
Sure thing. Oh, we've got a mic coming, sorry. I'm still new at this, guys. Right here.
Hi everybody, I'm Anna Austin. I work for the Rutland County Parent-Child Center, and I'm the director of our alternative high school program there.
Awesome, and next one down. I'll let our microphone walker to the order.
Hi, Leanne Kerrigan. I work at Bradford Psychiatric Associates. I'm the administrative assistant there.
Hi everybody, I'm Debbie Solham, and I'm the lab manager at Bradford Psychiatric, where we are a MAT service here in the city.
So thank you.
Hi, I'm Donna Barrow. I'm the director of Rutland County Head Start, and we do early care and education, nutrition, wraparound services, and medical and dental support for families in Rutland County.
My name is Sean Byrne. I'm a representative here for the Adult and Teen Challenge Center, the Addiction Center out of Johnson, Vermont. And we are back open now on our West Street location, doing meals on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, along with what we call a Freedom Friday night event that we've been hosting. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Reeves. I'm the director of the social work program at Castleton, Vermont State University, Castleton campus, as we now call it. This meeting is a requirement of my senior social work majors, who are all in various agencies around the community. So I'm going to let them all introduce themselves and tell you what agency they're at. So.
Hi, I'm Rhiannon Kravetsky, and I'm interning at Easter Seals here in Rutland.
Hi, I'm Logan Dykeman. I'm interning with Genesis at Mountain View Center.
Hi, I'm Allie Wayner, and I'm an intern at the Rutland Parent-Child Center.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and I am an intern at DCF.
I'm Emma Falcaro, and I'm an intern at Oak Tree, part of Rutland Mental Health.
I'm Janelle Bove. I'm an intern at Rutland Mental Health.
I'm Kai White. I'm an intern at Northwest Primary School.
I'm Taylor Cohen, and I'm an intern at Project Vision.
Hi, I'm Diana, and I'm a new staff member at Westridge Clinic. It's a MAT program. I'm going to be a new counselor there, so they sent me to check this out.
Jamrib Sor. Comes from Bodhi. That is hello in Khmer, which is Cambodian. My name is Bodhi. I represent Parents Child Center. We are launching a new exciting program It's called Gaining Ground. I am the director of it, and this is my second week. So it is, I am grateful and thankful for Project Vision, because Project Vision gives me purpose, and that makes me feel awesome.
Thank you. And do we have any other final people who may have gotten missed in the first rounds? Perfect. 1 and 2.
Burnell, and I am the operations director at Rutland County Parent-Child Center.
Last but not least. Good afternoon. I'm Norman Cohen. I'm with the Vermont Declaration of Inclusion Initiative. Delighted to be here and see such a full house.
Thank you. Last call for first-time introductions for anybody. All right, awesome. Thank you all so much. I'd like to now introduce Commander Prouty for his remarks and updates.
Good afternoon, everyone. Did my handcuffs fall off? I am representing the mayor and the chief today, and I think it's safe to say they've never looked so good. So the mayor sends his regards. Today he's up in Montpelier speaking with the governor regarding homelessness. So he could not make it today, but he wanted to make sure that I passed that along, that he misses all of you and wishes he could be here as well. Chief Kilcullen is out of the country today. He is on a well-deserved break. I believe he may be in Rome today, but he's on his way to Turkey. So that's pretty cool. So what he wanted to pass on, just some updates from the department. RPD is still hiring, if any of you are game for that. We have, I believe, 10 individuals in background, but we're still actively interviewing folks. We have 1 at the full-time school right now. We started with 2, we're down to 1, and he's about halfway through, so things are going well. Let's see. We have 1 scheduled to go to the part-time school this month, and so there's only 2 full-time classes every year, and there are, I believe, 2 part-time classes. We wanted to get a couple people into the part-time class, but we could only get 1 person in. So that person will work part-time with an officer, a field training officer, until they go to the full-time academy in February. Let's see. The department conducted some training for use of force and firearms this past week. Is Sergeant Williams here or not? So that was, we've been really busy with that. An important note, mark your calendars, October 9th. Our police commission meet that second Monday of each month, and we will be dedicating our community room to Jessica Ebenhausen. I believe there'll be a press release going out for that prior to that, but just so you're aware. Is that me?
I think my lab is on while that one's on.
Okay, I want to thank the Calvary Bible Church for letting us host motivational interviewing training this past month. Several folks that are here in this meeting attended that training. I, for one, took a lot out of it. And just so you know, motivational interviewing was it's a pilot program right now for law enforcement, so we had to have a certain amount of folks attend the training. It used to be very much training for clinical folks, but they have found that anybody can use this technique, and oftentimes results are better when lay people are using these techniques with friends and family and people that they're interacting with. I've had an opportunity to try to use some of these techniques out in the field, and it just, for me, it helps me to be much more of an active listener and less of a telling everybody all the reasons why I think they should do something different. Which hasn't been working very well, FYI. But anyway, so that was great. And where that falls under in the more of the vision plan is, remember, we're on the 4 pillars. We have prevention, intervention, enforcement, and support. And in vision, all things prevention, whether it's suicide prevention, drug prevention, domestic and sexual violence prevention. If there's a smoking prevention. If there's a prevention in it, we're in, right? So, this coming Saturday, we have Stomping Out Stigma in Meadow Street Park. I think someone may speak to that a little bit later. And there is also a memorial service going on at the Police Academy on Sunday for first responders, and someone from the PD, myself, will be there on behalf of Officer Ebenhausen. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Prouty. Next, I would like to pass over community announcements. And that is where I believe this is when I call people up, or is this when the presentation starts?
Anybody that's got current announcement that they'd like to share, we can stand up and do the microphone, or they can come forward. It is your choice.
Hi, everyone. Excuse me, Jamie Bentley, Community Impact Coordinator with Rutland Regional Medical Center, and I just wanted to announce that we are collaborating with United Way to bring back the Project Development Board Leadership Training. Yes, got it. I can never get it right. So we have been hearing that it's been difficult for nonprofits to get and to retain board members. We realize that this can be really difficult always. So we are bringing this training back. It is starting on the 27th, so not next week, but the week after. We still have spots available. So if any of you within your nonprofit organizations have people that want to join your board, who might be hesitant, or if you have new board members who could use some training and would like to get to know more about the roles and responsibilities of board of directors, please let them know about this training. I will send the registration information to Matt, and he will send it out to the Project Vision listserv. So thank you. Anything to add, Ashley? Okay.
All right, do we have anyone else? It looks like we've got someone in the back here.
Hi, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Richard Gallo. I'm with the Vermont Veterans Outreach Program. At our local clinic, the CBOC for veterans, there is a coffee on Monday at 10 a.m. Terry Richardson from the peer support staff, he coordinates this. Also next week on the 20th, for your military veterans that have TRICARE through Martins Point, we will have a class at 10 a.m. up at the U.S. Army Reserve Center located on Post Road, 10 o'clock on the 20th. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think we had two people up here on this side, starting with Mr. Box and then to Mr. Cohen. I do see you with your hand up there, Norm, I promise.
Stephen Box. I'm a housing houser. The Partners in Housing met the first Thursday of September, and we'll be meeting again the first Thursday of October at 10 o'clock at the Hub, and we'll meet every first Thursday until we give it up. At our last meeting, we identified the housers, those that provide multi-unit housing to our community, and we also identified a significant number of folks that are the supporters, which is the property managers and the trades, the people that help us keep houses safe and healthy. And then we had a third group, which was the supporters, the wrappers, the wraparound services. So that's all of the social services agencies that work with us to support those that are we're providing the housing and they're providing the support. And then our fourth group was the Gov. And so we had some representatives from elected, appointed, and hired, so from the Rutland Redevelopment Agency to the aldermen to the Senate, et cetera. And so the idea was to stir it up and figure out how we can turn 2,400 empty homes. Planning Commission just released a report. There's 2,400 empty homes in Rutland County. I know some are in foreclosure, some are in rebate, some are in probate, some are in, I don't know what else. But anyway, at the end of the day, if only 10% of those are available, or 20% that are reachable, then how can we reach them and how can we get them back on the market? And a lot of them are just being held because the process is cumbersome. And so how can we work together to remove obstacles? That's our objective. We'll be meeting again first Thursday at 10 o'clock. Some of you were there. Thank you very much. I'd like to see some more of you at the next meeting. At the Hub, that's worth a visit right there. It's a lovely place. So at the Hub, 10 o'clock, first Thursday, and be about 75 minutes. Not 74, not 76, 75 minutes. Thank you very much.
I'm Norman Cohen, as I mentioned. I'm with the Vermont Declaration of Inclusion Initiative, which we're attempting to get every municipality in Vermont to adopt a Declaration of Inclusion. And we have a website, vermontdeclarationofinclusion.org. I'm proud to say that we have 118 towns have adopted the Declaration of Inclusion. Over 70% of the population in Vermont lives in those towns. We are trying to get every town, some of which we can't reach, and to sign, but we will find a way. We also have 5 or 6 more that have said they've adopted. We don't put the towns on our website as adopted and increase the statistics till we have a signed declaration in hand, and we know it conforms with our master declaration. I just thought you'd want to have that information. I appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. All right, anybody else who has a community update they would like to share? I saw we had a couple of late entries in. No? All right. Oh, and we have one quick one from Adam.
So everyone, I did want to update you on Agency of Human Services' response to Act 81 through the legislature with regards to transitioning folks out of the hotels. The expectation for the June cohort is that we have multiple staff that will continue to outreach the individuals and families to the hotels to provide support, including screenings, including some case management, as well as shared care plan development. I have 3 staff that I'll have hired by next week on site at the Asa Bloomer building. I will be bringing them out to a lot of the agencies for introductions, expectations around them being also placed in the Vision Center so that they're high profile and people have access to them in support of this work. But the main goal is to in response to Act 81 to make sure that we are connecting with these folks so that they're connected to the appropriate services so they can move on from transitional housing, emergency housing into permanency. So what Stephen's speaking to is once we get these additional capacity for housing up, that these folks are prepared and supported by local agencies to address any barriers that they may have. So if you have any additional questions, I'm going to be reaching out individually to a lot of the agencies just for check-ins and formal introductions, but they will be sitting at Vision, I believe within the next week or 2. We'll get them down into the Vision Center as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for these awesome community updates. Thank you, Adam. Next, I would like to introduce the Youth Steering Committee, Emma Cosgrove and Chris Baskew. If you guys want to come on up and give your presentation. Now, I can tell everyone I've heard a little bit of this information already in a Board of Aldermen meeting, and I would just like to say that these young people have done an amazing job with their research and their presentation skills, and I look forward to them sharing it all with you. So thank you very much, and I'd like to welcome them up to the podium.
Awesome, thank you so much. So my name is Heather Brouillard. I'm the Regional Prevention Partnership Coordinator with Rutland Regional Medical Center, working with Partners for Prevention. So we are here today to introduce you to some fantastic work that we had going on in our community this summer with 2 of our youth interns that we hired. So just a little bit of a background to this project. So a little over a year ago, Vermont After School came to us and introduced the concept of VYP 2.0. So essentially this project was to survey the opportunities that we had for our youth in our community as far as third space opportunities, and to bring in some funding to be able to enhance and create third space opportunity where we were lacking. So the first part of this project was to hire a coordinator through Vermont After School. That position was listed and went vacant for nearly a year, unfortunately. So last spring, we kind of got creative to fill this position and do the work in our community to do the surveying of what youth feel like we really need in our community. So through that, we partnered with Vermont After School to hire 2 youth interns to get out in our community, to meet with groups of youth, whether it be camps, clubs, to be able to talk to them about their feelings about our community in general. So whether they feel belonging, whether they feel they have opportunity, and whether they really feel comfort in our community, which is incredibly important, not just for prevention, but for the growth and continuity of our community. So we hired 2 amazing youth interns, Grayson Skaza, who is a senior at West Rutland High School, and Emma Cosgrove, who is a senior at Rutland High School. They went out this summer, they met with camps, clubs all through our community, and talked about what the kids want to see. And Emma is here to introduce you to all the amazing results. So I'm going to introduce you to Emma Cosgrove.
Alrighty, so we talked with roughly about 7 groups, and we came up with really like 3 big points that they wanted. The first one was a lot of kids felt like they greatly need safe socialization opportunities, as they felt like after COVID, specifically in the teenage to preteen area, they felt like a lot of those opportunities got taken away from them because of COVID, because places either shut down, the programs were shut down, or there just wasn't enough people to staff that program. So a lot of things they've talked about was wanting to reconnect with people and get out back into the community, but they just didn't feel like they had those opportunities. The other one was a resource hub. So that was, a lot of the kids talked about how they felt like there are resources in the community for them to access, but they don't particularly know how to access those, or for more important ones like mental health or food insecurity or things like that. They said they almost felt embarrassed to have to come forward with it because they felt like it wasn't discreet enough for them, and they felt like there was judgment along that, so a lot of them weren't taking the opportunity to access those resources because they felt like they couldn't go about it in a discreet manner that made them feel comfortable. And then a lot of kids felt like they also didn't have those resources to begin with. So better developing that was another one we found with the kids. And the last one was a safe transportation system. A lot of the kids in Rutland County rely solely on their parents for transportation, and a lot of the parents work 40 plus hours a week, so they don't always have the opportunity to get their kids to different activities, whether it's third space, sports with school, clubs, things along that line. And a lot of kids were bringing up that while it's nice that we have these events in the community, it's not feasible for them to get there, as it is rural. And some of them were talking about, well, I can't actually get there if I have to walk 2 miles by myself. Like, it wasn't particularly feasible. So they said that was a really big barrier to getting them into the community.
So through this work that they did, so they really got out there, youth talking to youth. They got a lot of great information that youth aren't actually going to really directly share with adults. And that was one of the pieces of feedback that we received, is the kids were directly telling us, when adults talk, we don't listen. We're more likely to listen to peers. We're more likely to listen to younger people around our age. So they did some really great work. But out of this, we are starting to make partnerships in our community to be able to make change and see the things come into our community that we really need to help our youth thrive. So through that, I'm going to introduce Chris Baskew of the Bus. This is just one of the partnerships that we're seeing coming out of this work that our interns have done.
Good afternoon. As Heather mentioned, my name is Chris Baskew. I do public relations, community outreach for Marlborough Valley Regional Transit. I've been on staff for about 2 to 3 months, spending a lot of time at the transit center, where we're hearing a lot of the issues in our image being kind of tarnished down there. So some of the things that we started discussing was, is there an opportunity for Marble Valley Regional Transit to have like a youth-safe bus stop? Some of the things I haven't shared with you that I've brought up with our team there too is, could we potentially be looking at putting a monitor on a bus? Could we have just a bus line that would be designated to youth only? And one of the things that I'm kicking around is, could we make a formalized bus stop at like Rutland Park and Rec, and making that a formalized stop? So some of the things I know that I've had some conversation with Rutland City Schools who are actually building into their curriculum, riding public transportation. Through feedback, my listening tour with all of you, I've heard that a lot of youth would ride public transportation but don't feel safe. I assure you that there's probably no safer place to be than inside one of our buses. I won't say the same about our transit center, which is unfortunately where the youth would have to get dropped off. So a little bit about the work that I'm trying to do to help everybody is, I'm spending a lot of time down the transit center. I am public relations community outreach coordinator, so I'm on a very fine line. I'm not security, but we're doing everything we can to try to start cleaning up down to the transit center. And I'll share with all of you, I could use some help. I need some help down there. We do have quite a bit of drug use that I'm seeing going on down there, a lot of vagrancy, a lot of loitering. I'm sure Adam's seen it coming in Asa Boomer in the morning. We have a lot of people who sleep down there. I need some help to clean that up. Prouty, you came down and helped me the other day. We need more of it. I'm one person. I cannot take care of that myself, but I want all of you to know that it is a priority for me. I was hired on by Marble Valley to kind of help with their image. I truly believe to fix that image, I have to fix the transit center first, because that's what all of you see from Marble Valley Regional Transit. Not the 1,000 runs we do to Rutland Regional Medical Center in a year, not to dialysis, not to discharges, but to some of the people we're transporting and who's getting off at the transit center and loitering all day and causing problems and disrupting service. So I ask all of you to help me with that. What can we do to fix the transit center so that our youth feel safe to access some of the great things going on in our community that they could through public transportation? As a parent, I wouldn't let my child get off at the transit center. So let's get creative. What can we do? Does that mean we drop them off outside the transit center? Does it mean we have a safe haven? Does it mean we have a bus monitor? Rest assured, any youth gets on our bus, our drivers know that that youth, if by themselves, should be up towards the front of that bus, and that driver's keeping very close eye on youth. But I'm one person. So just wanted to share that those are some of the exciting things we're working on. And again, we're hoping to look to maybe add a route that is kid only, youth only, and potentially looking to make a permanent stop at Rutland Park and Rec to make sure that they have access. So that's it. Okay.
Thank you, Chris. So like I said, that's just one small partnership that has come out of this work, fantastic work that our youth interns have done this summer. So what else do we do with this information? Well, I left a sheet in the back near the sign-in sheet, as well as our business cards. And the sheet really explains everything that these interns found this summer, some really great information. So please reach out. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or comments. We're really hoping that this work is going to inform some of the work coming in the future. I am one of the co-facilitators of the Rutland Youth Coalition, and John from the Mentor Connector is my co-facilitator in the audience. And we're really using this data to inform where we're headed with the Rutland Youth Coalition. So some of our initiatives have really been born right out of what these interns found this summer. We're going to be working on bringing a teen center to our community. It is a big job and is going to take many, many partners, but we're hoping that together we can make that happen. We're also going to be building a youth council this summer. So, you know, not only this summer, these kids got to really voice their opinion, but that work will continue, and we're going to be working on self-advocacy and really encouraging our youth to have a voice as decisions are made in our community. So if this is work that you feel like you want to be a part of, we are always looking for new members of the Rutland Youth Coalition. We meet every Tuesday at 9 a.m. via Zoom. It's my information. Feel free to reach out. I left business cards in the back as well as the information about the intern's work. Thank you very much.
I'd just like to say a special thank you again to Emma, Heather, and Chris for all of your hard work and for coming in today and presenting. It's an amazing presentation. Love all the colors, but especially love all of the hard work. Next, I would like to invite Tia Poalino up to the podium for the Outreach Care Team update.
Anywhere near as colorful and engaging as what we just heard. But I think, you know, the work, the youth work that was just shared with us is just a great segue for the outreach care team. So here we know there are issues, we know that there are people that need help, and we know that there's kind of a mainstream way that's available and been available to them, but for some, it doesn't work. So we have to continue to work toward finding different ways to resolve these problems. And so that's really what the Outreach Care Team project is about. I know that Commander Prouty has kind of kept you in the loop, so to speak, about this program, the intention, how we're trying to make it happen. I don't want to repeat a lot of the information you may already know, so I'm going to give quite a opportunity for Q&A. So if any of you, I'm going to assume that all of you have some idea of what the Outreach Care Team, the purpose of that is. Is there anyone here that really has no idea, has never heard of it? That's great. Okay, so, and Matt, feel free to chime in too. So I'm happy to take questions. What I can, I'll just start the conversation. So tomorrow we'll be having an important meeting. The team is really ready to engage. And what does the team look like? Again, we will have a minimum of 4 team members, which will make the core team. And there will be 2 people kind of representative of the free clinic. So there will be a field assistant that will accompany a clinician. The clinician will be provided through the Medical Reserve Board or the Medical Reserve Corps volunteers. That will come from a pool of several volunteers. So that clinician may rotate. So it's very important for the field assistant is the constant that's going to go out with that clinician to serve. The other member, another role will be substance use disorder peer counselor from Turning Point and a mental health case manager from Rutland Mental Health. Another very, very critical and essential piece of this work will be Commander Prouty and his community resource specialists. As Matt has said, they do the recon. They're out there doing the recon. They already have their finger on the pulse of what's going on in the community. I'm sure they could readily identify at any time some individuals that should be mapped by the care team. And keeping the safety, the utmost concern for safety for everyone involved. And as well as really addressing those individuals that may be receptive and in need of medical care, for instance. You know, maybe they have wounds right now that they're not keeping very well. The population we're treating is a population that has been housed before and has been unsuccessful before and may be unsuccessful multiple times before. There are people that have had healthcare needs and have gone through that normal process to seek the care, the medical care they require, but it hasn't worked for whatever reason. So what we're trying to do differently is, instead of asking these individuals who have needs and need assistance to go through the customary steps to get it, that we try meeting them in their environment with respect and dignity for where they're at, and develop relationships. I was just speaking to Adam recently, and I've done outreach for many, many years. And to me, you know, as I've thought more and more about this project, you have like cold outreach and warm outreach. Like we talk about warm referrals and warm handoffs, right? So cold outreach would be us, you know, creating some type of outreach card and going out and saying, getting together as a team and saying, okay, we're gonna canvass this area today, we're gonna hand out X amount of cards, and we're gonna do X amount of housing assessments, you know? And we're not gonna come back until we get this done, right? So warm outreach is going out with really no expectation other to have a positive engagement with someone and letting them steer the vehicle, right, as much as possible. And if they're not very receptive the first time around, they're gonna know we're coming back. And they might be a little more receptive the next time, or the third time, or the fourth time. What's the ultimate outcome that we would like to see for those who are unhoused and homeless? To get a roof, a sustainable housing situation for them, to get them somewhere where they're safe, they're taken care of, and they're secure, and a place that works for them. And this is an important component, and this is kind of the final component that we're really trying to work out the kinks with. So how is this, as the core team initially came together very excited and very passionate about reaching these individuals in the way that, in the expertise that we bring from each of our areas, right? Knowing that for many of these people, it is a mental health issue that may keep them from securing sustainable housing, right? Or it may be a substance use disorder that's preventing them from being able to maintain sustainable housing. So as we can go out and begin to address some of those obstacles, yes, ultimately we hope that that's going to make them more conducive to taking that final step of finding a home that's suitable for them. Right? So, does anyone have any questions? I could ramble on and on. Matt and Adam know this, so. But I'm happy if anyone's curious. You know, we do have a schedule. I don't know if Matt has discussed that. So right now, should things move forward, we have a schedule of Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. From about 9 to 1. On Mondays, we'll be more site-based. So we will be at Companions in Wholeness, for example, and we will visit them routinely. We'll come in and we'll offer all of our services as we bring them, and hopefully engage some people there that we may engage on a Wednesday or a Thursday when we're more inclined to be working with Matt and his team, with the community resource specialists. So, you know, if you work for an agency that sees a lot of the individuals that are people we want to connect with, I would really hope that you would reach out to Matt or myself so we can have a conversation about, you know, how we can make that connection, because we want to make that connection. So this isn't a lot of time per week in the field. But it's also, you know, it's a, how do they say that, wheel in motion. It's just going to be a project that's going to be continually evolving. You know, it's new. It's a new effort. And thankfully, we have some wonderful partners that have stepped up. And I can't say enough about the Medical Reserve Corps either, and that critical component that they can fill. So anybody curious? Anybody have any other questions? Matt, is there anything else you wanted me to address? Yes. Hi. So the Medical Reserve Corps is another volunteer, state volunteer access for clinicians. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Rutland County Free Clinic, we have a paid staff of 2 full-time people and 1 part-time bookkeeper. And all of our patient services are provided, our clinical services are provided by volunteers. So nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, medical doctors, you name it, that are within our community. Even for dental, we have local dental practices that work with us to assist with some essential dental care. But it's all volunteers, and it has been since the conception back in 1997. So it's been 27 years this year that Park Street Health Share, the Rutland County Free Clinic, has been able to serve the Rutland area through that modality of volunteer clinicians. So the state has a pool of volunteers that they manage. They do a lot of trainings. If you've heard of Stop the Bleed, CPR, they do a lot of awareness. And they also back the free clinic up when we just don't have the capacity through our own volunteer roster. I reach out to them and say, gosh, you know, it's immunization season. We're adding on to our schedule. Can you give us a hand? And as you can imagine, COVID certainly, well, you know, it's healthcare, right? So we all know how healthcare has changed. We all know how there's a lack of providers, the stress on the healthcare workers, and just the difficulty that especially our older population are seeing. Imagine what obtaining healthcare was for them when they were teenagers and young adults and starting their families, and now, and what it is compared to what they have now. You know, they can't see their primary care provider. They don't even see their doctor every time. They can't see them as frequently. So there's a lot of issues. You know, when we talk about serving people that have experienced trauma and are really living in very tenuous situations, you know, some of these individuals may have no trespass orders put on them at the hospital, as Matt would say. But that doesn't mean they can't go there for treatment. It just means that how they went there for treatment before did not work. But perhaps the outreach care team, along with the transportation assistance and guidance that Project Vision and the community resource specialists can provide, can be a better way. So they can still get the care they need, and the ED can provide that care they want to provide, but in a manner that's more safe and effective for everyone. I told you I can ramble, so I hope. Yeah, so anyone else curious or wondering anything else about it? I'm happy to come back anytime. I do hope that we will be coming back and reporting our activity. And you know, one critical part of this too, for any of you that work with grants and data and funding and is just assessing the needs of the communities we live in, is I don't know, you know, who knows how many of these individuals will be able to actually get housed. But I know for certain we're going to be collecting data that's going to play an integral part in the plan for future housing needs. And that's going to be a very, very important part of this as well. So, thank you so much. Oh, yes.
I just wanted to say, we talked about collaboration for the greater good, and it sounds easy, but it's complicated to pull
Sure.
together, and we really appreciate this, and it's inspiring for everyone.
I know it's inspiring for us, so thank you.
She took our copy of the agenda. Yep. Thank you. I saw that. I was like, oh, I'll chase her down for it.
Thanks so much, Tia. I'm really excited at the prospect of what that work will bring, and I think meeting folks where they're at, and we talked a little bit about motivational interviewing, but also stages of change and being able to work with people where they're at their level, and going out in a very intentional way and meeting them where they're at is going to be really important. So thank you for that work. So at this point, we're going to be splitting up into our subcommittees. I would ask the Health Committee for the back area there with the very comfortable chairs, and then we will have the so we're going to have community policing up in the comfortable couch and chairs in the back, and moving the Health Committee up front here in the corner. For those of you that are new, please feel free to engage with either subcommittee. We usually take about 15 to 20 minutes for an overall review of kind of the work that's happening, and then looking for some valuable input from you all. So we'll see you in about 15 or 20, and I'll make sure that I let you all know when to return. Thanks so much. Right, folks, thanks everybody. This is the time that we ask for report outs. I think we'll start off with Jamie. It's Bentley. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Of course you're drinking something.
All right, thank you. So the Health Committee met in here because someone stole our space, which I will also point out that there wasn't room for all of you out there to sit on the comfortable chairs. So those of you that had to stand or not sit in comfortable chairs, I'm sorry. Just kidding. Sort of. Anyways, Health Committee met in here. We had some really great discussion. Our next meeting is September 19th, which is next Tuesday at the Vision Center. We are focusing that meeting on the agencies who provide services around substance use on all levels. And it's really just a meeting to sort of level set and hear about the programs, the locations, the time, the services, and the contact for each of those agencies, so that we can all get on the same page and be able to collaborate and communicate more effectively to support our community. And within our meeting, we also just had some discussion about connections, talking about community living rooms and third spaces that we might be able to work on together collaboratively to help with things like the transit station and some of the youth development that Emma talked about earlier. So if you are interested in how health is connected to our community, which it's connected to everything in the community, I'll just throw that out there, please come to the Health Committee meeting on the 19th. We do a lot of work on connecting agencies and partners and collaborating. And, you know, I think while the work that Matt and Tina are doing at the Free Clinic didn't necessarily come out of the Health Committee, I think that is really the essence of Project Vision in so many ways, of connecting those partners who traditionally might not work together to really serve our community in innovative and amazing ways. So please join us. And questions? Yes, the meeting is at 11 to 12? I don't know. But it is on Wales Street, I could tell you that, the first street that I can remember in Rutland, amazingly. So, any other questions, thoughts, comments? Great, thank you.
Next, we'd like to invite up Commander Prouty with the Public Safety Committee updates.
Damn handcuffs. So we continue the conversation about the outreach care team, but I do have some flyers from Bradford Psychiatric Associates. They do outpatient. For those of you that don't know, they're right there on Stratton Road by Olivia's. A lot of folks that we work with do get services there. If you're not on the listserv to get great updates from Jamie, there is there's a form out in the vestibule. If you just put your name and your organization, I will add you to the listserv, so when these meetings are being posted, you'll have access to those. Also, Jen, do you want to talk about Tuesday real quick? Yes.
If you were interested, Project Vision holds an informal lunch at noon every Tuesday, and at the Project Vision Health Committee, we're going to have a sign up, and we hope your organization will take one of those Tuesdays to do a very informal 5 to 10 minutes about your organization, and that way we can just do a little bit of connecting. So hope we'll have that sign up on Tuesday.
Perfect.
Come to Health Committee, stay for lunch.
To be clear, you're bringing your own lunch. We're broke. Okay, we're broke. So understand who you're dealing with, right? So yeah, that was pretty much it. We did. I gotta tell you, as always, there's always a sparkle of brilliance when we meet as a community policing piece. It happens sometimes on the health side, often in community policing. And from our motivational interviewing class, Bianca, we were talking about the class, and instead of saying meeting people where they're at, is meeting people where they dream. Because where they're at might not be great, right? But where they want to be, or dreamt they would be, or hoped they would be. So that's all I got, Adam. I'm going this way.
All right, so now is the point in the meeting where we will all go around, well, not all, but if anyone would like to, we can share an uplifting or positive story from the last time we met to now. And I will gladly go first. I would love to introduce up Miss Monica Ganguly-Kiefner to speak on the success of last Monday's opening of the Rutland County Pride Center. It was a beautiful event. There was lots of great food and snacks, and I'd like to invite Monica up personally to come share how well that went. Putting you on the spot. Oh, well, we had the same idea. Great minds think alike. Come up and talk about it. So. Hello. I don't know what I can say that Jamie. I'm looking at Jamie and talking about Kiana. That Kiana hasn't already said, but Rutland County Pride Center, most of you have probably heard we have a physical location now. It's next to Tokyo House in that same suite. So Tokyo House on the left, Pride Center's on the right. We don't have regularly open hours yet. We're working on that. We need to find funding to staff it so that it's safe and comfortable for people to be there. But Monday night we had a soft opening open house. Over the course of that, we had 63 people show up to look at the Pride Center, which is wonderful for a Monday night in Rutland. When does that happen? And we had big sticky notes on the walls so that people could comment, the services and programs they want to see, and also what their biggest dreams were for the Pride Center would be over the course of our first few years of operations. And overwhelmingly, it was a desire for safe and affirming space, which we're working on really, really hard. If anyone has any questions or comments or wants to partner or know more about what we're doing, you can always find me. I can give you my card. Kiana and Adam both know where to find me. So yeah, hit me up. Any questions about that? Perfect. And the floor is now open for anybody else who would like to share a positive or uplifting story from the last month between our last meetings. Show of hands, anyone with anything exciting to share? Because I'll go again, I've got another one. Lots of great stuff has happened in the last month. All right, I'll keep rocking with it. I'd like to give another shout out to Nicole Rice in the back here. She is the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club of Rutland County. Last Thursday, they had a beautiful fundraiser out on Lake Bombazine, the annual fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. It was an amazing event. There was an amazing music from Nikki Adams. The food in the open bar were pretty great as well. But I'm also just so proud to say that they have raised so much money for their organization to help benefit the children that they serve. Many of those children, including from the remarks from their board president, Caitlin Perry, are members of the unhoused community here in Rutland City. The Boys and Girls Club is stepping up, and they are providing meals, they are providing a safe third space, they are providing academic help, they are providing so many services that the young people in this area deserve, and I am so proud of them and all the work they have done. And Nicole, I'll ask you to come up and speak, but I think I accidentally took your whole spiel, so I've done it to both of you. I'm sorry, guys. I'll keep going if anyone else has any other ideas. All right. One more piece of positive news then. This is a future piece of news. I'm very excited to say that Come Alive Outside will be cutting the ribbon on Saturday for their new installation at Depot Park for the Reimagine Depot Park project. This is going to bring some much needed color, comfort, and some musical pieces as well to Depot Park in downtown Rutland. I look forward to seeing many of you there. I will be cutting the ribbon at noon on Saturday with Miss Vermont and Bigfoot. I feel like Bigfoot's gonna steal the stage from me a little bit here, but I look forward to seeing you all there and seeing the amazing work that Come Alive Outside is doing in the community as well. Again, the stage is open. Anybody else would like to share anything? Now you're on the spot, Matt.
So I've been working with an individual for, well, since I came back from retirement. Street homeless, had gotten sober for about 9 months out of the last, I don't know how many years, but then life stuff happened and fell off the wagon, and it's been really struggling. And he said, you know, this man's gonna die. So I did what I talked to my team, be on the lookout for this individual. And for most of the time, it was pretty easy to find because he can't walk very fast. And anyway, so he couldn't get away. I could catch him. But started having conversations. The first off, we got him a change of clothes, got him a shower, did his laundry, and started those conversations about, hey, when's the last time you saw a doctor? Hey, when's the last, other than the ER, okay. When we built it, and he was very receptive. It took some time, you know, say, hey, what do you think about, you know, this is before motivational interviewing, so like, you should really stop drinking. Nah, you know. But this last month, after a lot of work, a lot of be on the lookouts, I was able to get him signed up with for the primary care doctor, got him to his appointment, signed a release. It's my phone that they call because he doesn't have one, but is willing to work with me in that capacity. And we've also got a behavioral health referral, so there's going to be more be on the lookout. So this is an individual who has gone months without bipolar medication, anti-seizure medication, and a whole bunch of other medication, right? So, and people wonder why things are the way they are. And this is basic health care that everybody should have a right to. But health care needs to be efficient in most systems. But real health care, we all know, is anything but when done properly. And but it's hard when, and this is no judgment on our healthcare systems and buildings because, look, they're busy. But that's where us as community have to get to step in that gap. Consider it an opportunity and a privilege to work with this group, if you can. So to me, it was awesome to see this man getting what he needed. And like I said, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I do know that this community is going to do right by this individual. We didn't create all the trauma and the things that led up to it, but that doesn't mean we're going to just let it run its course. We're going to try to intervene. We're going to try to provide hope. So who knows? Someday, hopefully, I can have him in here telling his story and encouraging others. So thank you.
All right, last call for any positive or uplifting stories that anyone would like to share. Seeing and hearing none, thank you all so much for coming today. I think that this is the conclusion of this month's Project Vision meeting. I look forward to seeing you all the next month. I also look forward to seeing you guys at lunches on Tuesdays in the Vision Center, brown bag lunches. Let's go all go up and have a snack together. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day and enjoy the weather.